Hey, what's up, everyone? Uh, Back at it again with another one. I know everybody's heard about the Jess Pearly things and the Jason Black, Obsidian, and O'Shea Duke Jackson. Don't didn't really want to get into that, but when I looked at something the past few days, the past few days, this is very alarming about how we are getting down as a people. And I know it's look, I'm fairly new to YouTube, trying to do my thing. I always like content over just getting clicks and views. I know that's part of the game. I'm cool with that, but that's not how I want to do, you know, operations on how things get down. But this is this is really bad. I mean, we seeing some guys that I actually follow just just wilding out. I'm talking about Buck Nansen Supreme. Just want to share something with you and see what you think about it.
True. There would be no greatness of the
What this is a documentary Jason Black did, and I listen to a lot of Jason Black, listen to a lot of Obsidian. Shout out to Red Supreme. Uh, mediocre tutorials. Um, Even Jessica X. But I mean, this stopped me in my tracks when I don't want to jump into this, but I'm gonna give my piece on it, and let's continue.
West and so on, without power and with at some level without oppression. And that is what it is. That's tragic, but it existed throughout the ancient world. It existed. Some kind of domination and oppression exists throughout the world as it is. It just is what it is. We don't live in an ideal realm in which all individuals have rights. Anytime you engage in
So wait a minute. So the argument is that Pearl was Kaha and kikiing with Nick Fuentes. She agreed with him. She didn't. There was no pushback. That was the argument. Okay, this brother right here said there's never been a time when all people had rights. Why didn't Jason Black jump down Richard Spencer's throat? Why didn't he do that?
Did you just hear what Obsidian said? He just did an interview with Just Pearly Things, and he didn't do nothing what he just talked about. The man is conducting a documentary. Documentary. He's performing as a journalist. Neither you nor me could get Richard Spencer on to do a documentary. But what you just said, you did you actually coddled Just Pearly Things. Everybody saw it. So I'm calling foul.
Right.
And another
He
thing,
didn't say nothing.
well, another thing too, Obsidian. I don't know. If, I didn't even catch this when I watched it. When he said you're a black man, Jason Black took his blackness all the way out of it and said, "I'm a Southerner. I'm a Southerner."
Right after he said that.
So why would you? So why would you, as this pro-black, one of the kings of pro-blackness, deny your blackness to make a commonality with the?
You didn't say that when he had an interview with Roland Martin. I ain't seen near one of you get on and make a video about that.
"Quote unquote" white supremacy.
Or your ancestors that had to put up with that during that time. I would be upset if my ancestors had to do with that, you know?
Why would you deny your blackness, with, like the brother said, that connects you to the suffering that you're talking about of the black people of those times?
Let me run that back. Let me see what you get that.
Ethnicity and race.
Hang on.
I, as a Southerner myself, I was born and raised in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe for me the beautiful part that I, as a Southerner, should see when I look at the Confederate flag?
Well, hold on a second. What a Southerner? I thought he was pro-black. I thought he was the black.
Man, that's got to be the lamest damn excuse I ever heard. The man just said, I'm a Southerner. Can you describe to me what's beautiful about the Confederate flag? When did he denounce his blackness? Man, these dudes this is a problem.
Blackity black. Look how black I am. Universal, omnidirectional black. I'm black in all directions, all the place, all the time, everywhere, forever and ever. I'm in black.
Now he's a Southerner. Now he's a Southerner now.
Where does pro-black end? Where does pro-black start? That's my point. Where does pro-black end? Where does it start? I mean, Tariq's got a white family. Jason Black had Don Peebles in his DVD. The man has a white woman wife. Okay, and I'm not hating on that. But the main thing I want to say, because I got to go to work, you guys, here's the big thing that everybody's missing. Jason Black's profile picture is of Eldridge Cleaver. Please research Eldridge Cleaver. Eldridge Cleaver is one of the original Black Panthers. Eldridge Cleaver was a self-proclaimed confirmed rapist.
You know what? Damn sure not pulling the cape off of Jason Black. But I do need to say something. These males, I'm not going to call them men. These males on here is the reason why black women took masculinity on themselves.
He raped black women in the ghetto to practice so he can rape white women. That's his words, not mine. That's confirmed. Dr. Wilson taught us what?
That's true.
To symbols. Pay attention to symbols. His profile picture is of a rapist, a self-proclaimed rapist, a man who raped black women to practice so he can rape white women. The FBI say they don't know how many women he raped. I gotta go, you guys. I'll leave y'all on that. Big props to all you men on this panel. Hey, keep it moving. I'm out of here.
Miri, you're versed in the history of pro-blackness. Can you confirm what the brother just said with regard to the personal history of Eldridge Cleaver?
Yeah, that's facts. He talks about it in his book Soul on Ice. That's absolute facts. That's one of the things I always like. That's why I said I just don't know who the fuck you are. Like, and choosing Eldridge Cleaver as your icon or as a symbol, I think says a lot, because he's correct. Eldridge Cleaver admitted to raping black women in the ghetto, so he could be a better rapist when he actually went to go rape white.
And he loves some white women.
They could be right. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know who Eldridge Cleaver is, but I never heard that about him. They could be right. Let's keep going.
He went there to get white women. I don't have SKC's quote of RBR real brother. I love when he played the white women. Yeah, I love how he does that. Anyway, let's continue. Fair use.
I understand that you as a black man do not resonate with these things. Yeah, but see, this is why, region is less important than ethnicity and race. I understand why African Americans would not resonate with the Confederacy. No question. If I were African, I would not resonate with it, and I might hate it. Because civilization is ultimately based on oppression and slavery. And that might not be something that everyone wants to hear, but it is absolutely true. There would be no greatness of the West and so on without power, and with at some level without oppression. And that is what it is.
Let me stop it right there. Documentary, right? I'm interviewing this clown, meaning Richard Spencer. We all heard what he just said. I want you to pay attention to the inactivity of these buffoons trying to bring this up. Nobody stopped. This is outside of Jason Black doing the interview. None of them stopped and rebutted nothing he said, meaning Richard Spencer. But I want you to pay attention to the reaction. Keep in mind, this is third person. They didn't even do the interview. They didn't even get the film, the none of that. They're looking at this in third person. They still ain't got nothing to say.
That's tragic, but it existed throughout the ancient world. It existed. Some kind of domination and oppression exists throughout the world as it is. It just is what it is.
At that point, Jason Black.
Now look. He's finished saying what he said, and watch what these people do, man. This is disturbing.
Actually got in his bass baritone voice and spoke from his chest, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it.
He should have cut him off right there. He should have cut him off right there. Right,
cut him off at the knees, black man. First Man Jenkins says, "Oh man, make sure your panelists say grape or the R word to avoid demonetization." Yes, fellas, when we talk about how Eldridge Cleaver, the standard bearer and apostle and avatar for Jason Black, the black hypocrite, was a massive grapist. He groped black women gratuitously in the hood to prepare himself to grape white women. So there you go. And matter of fact, now that I think of
it, did he say white women? He had a problem with the white women grape, didn't he? Huh. Interesting.
About it, that makes a lot more sense too, because the way that Jason Black treated Jessica X, and we're going to get to that phone call in a minute from last night's live. Yeah, I can see the connection now. Appreciate you, brother, for the $5 super chat. Let's continue. Fair use.
We don't live in an ideal realm in which all individuals have rights. Anytime you engage in any kind of political demonstration, I get there are going to be heated words. There might be some fist fights here and there. That's the cost. However, at one point chaos reigned. That was totally outrageous, and that is ultimately the responsibility of people like Mike Steiner. And they failed. They have blood on their hands. I'll just be honest. I don't want to get all Alex Jonesy here, but he looked a bit like an A toward me. That was bizarre that he discharged a weapon.
I hate to keep stopping this, y'all, but look at them. Nobody came. Forget Jason Black. He's a journalist. He's interviewing this dude. Nobody jump in. Number one thing is Richard Spencer. F you. If you think that because you're white, I gotta abide by what you say, I should be on the bottom shelf and accept it, up yours. That's just my opinion, and it's interesting that it never triggered any of them punks that are actually doing this video. Didn't trigger them.
Weapon and then walked away and was not arrested by police. But let's keep this in mind. He discharged what appeared to be a warning shot at a black man who was using an improvised blowtorch. I mean, that person could have killed people. In terms of all those people who brought weapons, Virginia is an open carry state and a concealed carry state. There was not a mass slaughter using firearms.
Right, but what part of a peaceful protest is could Dr. King walking down the streets of Selma with shotguns and AR-15s and saying this is our peaceful protest? What part of the peaceful
you can use a firearm? I mean, a firearm.
He just responded. He just responded to him. And look to the left of your screen. This clown with an LA hat on and these other avatars. They ain't saying nothing.
It can be it can be used in war. It can be used in defense.
Right,
it can be. Well, it actually can. It can. You know, there was something in the Old West. There was something about having a 6-shooter on your side that told that was a chaotic situation, and it kind of told some other people to, hey, back off. Chris Cantwell was rotting in a jail cell, and I think actually why he was put into a jail cell was because he gave an interview to Vice where he was a bit outlandish, and again
about James Alex Fields.
He can be criticized for that.
But the comments he made about James Alex Fields.
What did he say about James Alex Fields?
Okay, on the Vice piece about James Alex Fields, he said that basically that was self-defense.
Well, I don't.
Notice the conciliatory tone here.
Man, don't even do that. Y'all basically reaching at this point. This is a third person looking at this. You dudes are basically reaching. What I want to do going forward, I'm going to critique that video you did with just Pearly and compare it to this.
I mean, where's all the fire and brimstone that Jason Black, the black hypocrite, has been doing for years and years and years on black people? Where's all the speaking from the chest now? Where is it? This is his movie. Shouldn't he be?
That is some whole stuff right there. What was all that for? Just I'm in your words, Miss Just Pearly. What was it at then? He actually asked a valid question and knew what he was talking about.
Be basing on these. Shouldn't he be doing what Chuck D, a Public Enemy, said? Chuck D famously said, "I'd rather spend my time."
Chuck D sold out. He just did it. Flavor Flav ring a button
on a bigot, right?
He sounds a lot more docile.
Well, not just that. City, and again, not even actually want to do what he say he did. Again, last night, Jason Black pointed out whatever he tried to point out, but when I tried to come up, he admitted it on air. Would not have the debate. Would not have the discussion with another black man.
Right.
Black man. Real quick, brother.
Wait a minute. Didn't he ask you to give him proof? And you said I stand corrected? Listen, I am not a Jason Black cape wearer, none of that. I'm just looking at this third person. You full of ish. Should be Mr. Fantastic Liar.
Again, a black man that disagrees with pro-blacks are 10 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times worse. You know why? Because they don't see that black man as valuable. Having an argument with another black man as they do, you know what I'm saying, defeating white supremacy and getting paid for it. See, Jason Black also said that same day now, he did say this: if it's about the money, I have no problem with it. If it's about making some money with white supremacy, I can make some money on white supremacy, it's cool. You know, him and Tariq Nasheed, they're all of the same thought. As long as they can get some, clicks, views, and those,
what are y'all trying to do? You've been on this heavy because he called out something he disagreed with. And a whole lot of people disagreed with. Y'all been running with this ever since. So who's out here chasing clicks and views? If he's doing it for clicks and views, fine. Me personally, I'm not doing this for clicks and views. What I'm trying to call out is men like you. I'm sorry, males like you.
That oppression, that racism can turn it into dollars. They cool with it. But other than that, they don't want nothing to do with white folks, right? But you as a
they nothing more than oppression hustler. You know what I'm saying? They want to take your plight and make $1 and a few bucks, but they don't really care about you. You know, at the end of the day.
Not at all. Not at all.
Look at that. Soon as they say that, this dude keep posting the super chats. Come on, man.
I wanted to speak on. The what's going on. I wanted to speak on the difference between what I think Jason Black, right here, and Just Pearly Things with Nick Fuentes. Now, Jason Black, I guess, well, I'm gonna say I guess what he said his position was with this race war documentary is to get an insight on a direct white supremacist or white nationalist position and have a dialogue back and forth about that. Now, what Pearl did, it wasn't that. It was like a conversation that kind of turned into a kikiing about racism as well as what happened with Holocaust. She didn't bring him up there with the idea of having a conversation and getting his and being responsible and how that conversation go forth. That's the difference between what I think Jason Black tried to present in this documentary, which he put out to the to the community, the Black community.
Okay, that's 2018. And in response to what you said, Nick Fuentes didn't bring up slavery. Just Pearly Things did. She could have left it as the Jewish plight. She could have left it there. She brought up slavery. He didn't.
Or the Black conscious community in particular. So I think that's the difference between a supremacist versus
I would go along with that, Demetrius, but here's the problem. We played earlier. Well, maybe you weren't tuning in. You definitely weren't here. Jason Black was very pointed about his displeasure at Just Pearly Things even talking to the white supremacist Nick Fuentes. And see, my problem is, okay, if she's not even supposed to even be talking to him, what's your excuse for talking to two white supremacists in your movie?
Am I back in it? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't think it's not.
I'm going to end this right there. I'm going to do this in a couple series because these dudes is straight clowns, man. And this is a third person form of looking at this. They completely missed the mark on this. Completely. So with that one, this will be just one part video, and I'm gonna keep going on because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is what we got as far as males in the Black community right now. Old saying go, you like the bear, making tracks and getting nowhere. And I'll end that.